friends, my name is Rosa.
And my name is Deanna, best friends and co-host for The Last Brain Cell.
A safe place for all things girl talk, mental health, wellness, and everything in between.
This is a safe place where we bar no judgment as we have real and deep conversations about life in our late 20s. Let's get into today's episode.
Hi, Deanna.
Hey, Rosa.
How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah? How was your week?
My mom had surgery
Yeah?
last week. She had like a 10 centimeter fibroid hanging out in her uterus
Good.
and cervix.
Did she name it?
No, she did not name it. I don't think she thought it was worthy of a name.
That's fair.
It was giving her grief.
Yeah.
And so that was just like a whole thing. And she was having like a lot of issues with her fibroid. And we finally just decided that we're just going to go ahead and take that sucker out because of all the issues that's been given her. It was really cool because they did a robotic surgery.
That's kind of scary, though.
Yeah. And so I was kind of looking at videos on it, and all the videos that I saw, there were like patients obviously on the table, and there's like the surgical techs and whatever with the patient. And then there's a doctor like in this little box in the corner, just like.
So a doctor is still operating it?
Yeah. So she is maneuvering the laparoscopic hands pretty much robotically in the corner of a room. So she's like not even with patients.
So what's the point in that though? Like,
so with like normal laparoscopic procedures, you have like the little holes that like two sticks pretty much go in. But the only thing is that there's like two little pinchers on the end, and they can like maneuver tools with those little pinchers. But with more complex cases, like for my mom, they have hands almost. It's like a wrist, so they can like scoop things and maneuver under certain organs and whatnot, which makes that robotic surgery a bit more not invasive as getting fully cut open.
okay. So like either way, they still have to have a doctor involved.
So yeah, the surgeon is still there, but she's like not near my mom. Like the surgeon was not near my mom during the procedure.
Scary though.
So like you're kind of relying on these surgical techs and, you know, the residents or whoever to get all this equipment set up to connect to this little box in the corner of a room so that she can maneuver this like a freaking video game.
So not only do you need doctors, anesthesiologists, nurses, you also need engineers, and a tech,
Yeah.
IT.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened.
What is that even saving? Oh, well, how is she?
She is doing wonderful. She actually had a really hard time coming out of anesthesia. And I was there from probably like 5:30 in the morning to like 9:30 at night. And my mom was like, oh yeah, like, you know, as soon as this procedure is done, they're going to take me out to recovery and we're going to go home. And I'm like, I don't think that's quite how that works. And it didn't.
Oh, Mom.
But, you know, it just makes me like think about like how crazy healthcare technology has come,
gotten.
you know. It's just wild.
But yet it takes us 4 hours to figure out these mics.
Oh my God, guys.
It
was comical. But hey, your mom also had surgery, right?
Yes, she had surgery on Tuesday. She got a disc inserted into her neck, I believe. And this is their third neck surgery she's had. The last one she had was back in 2009, which was rather scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had a stroke afterwards. I don't remember. I was so young, so I don't remember like the actual like timeline behind it. So, you know, this one was very nerve-wracking where we had to like make sure everything was good. They did like hundreds of tests, it felt like, before we actually had the surgery. But like the surgery went well. Like she handled it really good. I mean, obviously she's a little sore in her neck, and she's having a lot of acid reflux, but
Yeah.
I think that's doable, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
Exactly. She'll be fine. But no, she's doing great though. I'm really proud of her. It's awesome.
Yeah, I remember you were texting me and you're like, oh, like we're done. And I'm like, oh my God, already?
Yeah, like we weren't even there for an hour whenever they like took her back, and I'm already getting a phone call from the like surgeon.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it went great. You know, I'm like, really? You're done?
Like it's so crazy. Like
I know.
people are going in like fully under anesthesia, like getting cut open, and then like an hour later they're like, oh,
They're done.
we're done.
Yeah, it's insane to me, but I mean, whatever works for them, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is a perfect segue for like fears.
Yes.
Like healthcare uncertainties and like getting old is one of my biggest fears.
I don't know if like necessarily getting old is a fear of mine. It's more like the sicknesses involved with
that's what I
getting
mean.
old.
I mean, there's no way to know like what kind of illness or what you're going to be riddled with when you're old.
I don't even know if it's like sicknesses either, but like accidents
Yeah, accidents.
that like change in an instant.
Right.
Too.
I completely agree.
You know, I mean, just uncertainty really is like a big fear, I think, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, healthcare has come such a long way. And I think that because people are living longer, we're living longer with these chronic illnesses. And maybe it's just the nurse in me talking and just this hospital setting that I'm in full time, 40 hours a week. But, like, people are sick.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy that, like, you don't know what kind of situation you're going to be in when you're older.
Yeah, and like literally one thing can change everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm, you know, on the PIC team, you guys deal a lot with like infections, you know, and I remember there was this one person that was perfectly healthy. She went to the nail salon, got her toes done, and got like an infection at the nail salon, and now she's like had like 5, 6, 7, 8 surgeries because of all of these infections, and like it's literally changed her whole life, and all she did was go get her toes done.
I know, and it's so unpredictable, like how these illnesses happen. But like, you know, cancers, like
it's terrifying.
Most cancers are found on accident. Because you have maybe a scan, because maybe you've been having stomach issues for a while, or you've had like this consistent headache. So you get a scan done and boom,
look, brain tumor.
There's a tumor. There's a huge mass.
Yeah.
And then you got to go in and get that biopsied and send it out to pathology. And then like,
you never know.
That's
what
just
to
like
do
one of
from
my
there.
biggest fears is that like, just not knowing what kind of condition I'm going to be in when I'm older. And because I think of my mom, like my mom is 60, my dad is 65. And like, thank God, like they don't have any chronic illnesses. They don't take any medicine, nothing. And like for their age, like go them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because we see in the hospital people who were like 40s and 50s and they're alcoholics or, you know, they've got blood pressure issues, diabetes, like all these other chronic issues that they're just taking medicine and feeding into big pharma. Like,
I think like, you know, going into like getting old or whatever, like another fear of mine is like being alone when I'm old. And like
you're old. Okay.
Like when I'm old, like, and if, you know, we're going to get old, we're going to get to the point where we need somebody to help us, you know, it's just inevitable. And like, what if I don't have anybody to help me? I'm going to get put on a home, and I've seen what that does to people.
Yeah.
You
or
know
if
what
you
I
don't
mean?
get put in a home, you just live by yourself. Like,
and then I fall and break a hip and
Yeah.
just die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a terrifying
also,
thought.
homes are expensive.
Yes. Yeah. I like, it's almost like paying rent at some of those places.
Exorbitant rent.
Yeah.
Because you're also paying for the healthcare there
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
assistance.
God, being alone when you're old just is like, I don't even like being alone now.
I know.
I can take care of myself.
I know. You're like, Ben's going to be gone for like X amount of days. What am I going to do?
If you weren't here, I would be like crying in a corner somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
Eating ice
I asked
cream.
Deanna, I said, well, Ben's going to be gone for like 4 days. What are you going to do? And she goes, cry.
I mean, what else is there to do? What's another one of your fears?
This is like a weird phobia of mine. And honestly, it really lines up with the current events, especially with the submersible. But like open water. Open water freaks me the fuck out.
Doesn't that have like an actual name?
It's called thalassophobia.
Oh.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Thalassophobia?
Or something like that. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
think about it. Like, only 5%, no, I think it's 80% of the world's oceans have been mapped, or haven't been mapped. Only 20% has.
That just
So we don't know what 80% of the ocean is.
or what's in it.
What's in it? Like, it's freaky.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, have you seen? So, there's this game. It's a water type game. I don't know exactly the name of it. But it like you get stranded on an island or on a world that's like just water, and you have to like survive and build things and whatever else. And I used to watch my boyfriend at the time play it, and like it was terrifying to even watch it because like there's big sea monsters and like all these other things, and like it was scary even doing that, and I wasn't even actually in the water.
I'd be dead. No, but I'm serious. Like, even like going to the beach or like a lake, like if I can't see what's under my feet, it is game over. Like one time I went on like a high school like beach trip, and we were kind of going into the deeper part of it, and like I was part of the swim team or whatever. Like water just like did not really freak me out as much as it does now. But like something brushed up against my leg. I still have no idea what the heck it was. I unwell. I raced back to shore.
I can't.
And like
mm-mm.
Megalodon? Kraken?
The Kraken.
Loch Ness?
I think that's a lake.
What?
The Loch Ness? Isn't
It
that a
doesn't
lake?
matter.
Okay.
Still open water.
That's fair. That's
Like,
fair.
How do we know it's still not
No, I mean,
down there somewhere?
I agree.
I know I sound fucking insane, but how do we know? We don't know what 80% of the ocean is.
Rosa, we're not actually in the water right now. It's okay.
Yeah. And then it just like gets dark.
That freaks me out. Darkness already freaks me out, but then being in the water?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
So
I
I'm
can't.
telling you, it freaks me out.
I mean, imagine being in that sub though.
I have been dying. I've been wanting to talk about this sub thing.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend is like, I don't give a shit. And he just like won't talk to me about it. I'm like, come on.
I just have to let it out, please. Well, so today is Friday. Today's Friday. So by now they found the submersible.
They found the debris.
They found out that it actually imploded.
Right.
But before they discovered that, they didn't know how they died. They didn't know if they were just going to run out of air, if it imploded, if they wrecked, or if hypothermia was an option in there too, right?
Right.
I think as bad as it sounds, the implosion is best case scenario because it happened in like 30 milliseconds.
I completely agree. I think if you're going to go one way or another,
that's the way to go.
It's like instant. Don't feel it. Can't even think about it.
Didn't even know it was going to happen.
Otherwise, you're just like sitting there with impending doom and death just like waiting to happen because God knows if they were going to be able to find them.
Yeah.
And even if they did find them, how were they going to bring them up?
Well, my thing too is...
And how long was it going to take to get them back to the surface anyways?
Right, exactly. I mean, they'd run out of air anyways.
Right.
But like my biggest thing is why would you get in that in the first place?
I'm telling you, like, I understand, like, if you have stupid money, you can do stupid shit, but like
this is like beyond stupid.
Right. But here's the thing. There has been record like documentation saying, hey, from like experts in this field saying this doesn't seem safe.
This is dumb.
This doesn't pass any kind of safety regulation. Don't do it.
Okay, so they didn't have a way to control it down there. Okay, they're relying on people above the water to control it, right? To like be able to see where they're going, and then they can't get out from the inside.
Nope,
there's
they're
like
bolted
12
shut.
bolts on the outside. You know what I mean? There's no seats. Did you see the inside of that thing?
Yeah, it's like a tube.
A metal tube.
A metal tube with like one tiny little peephole of a window.
What are you even doing down there? What's the point?
Yeah.
You can't actually see the Titanic, even if you made it down there.
I'm telling you, your best bet is to go to the museum to see all the pieces of it. Watch the fucking movie.
Right. That's all you need to know about
and
it.
you'll probably see a better picture online.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. and you don't have to die.
That, yeah, I feel bad
So
for the 19-year-old.
Me too. And like, honestly, I don't wish death on anyone. And it's a
Yeah.
very, very sad situation what happened to these 5 individuals, because I'm sure they thought that they were doing this really big novel thing that not many people get to do. And it's an experience, quote unquote, of a lifetime,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, it's an experience
But,
of a lifetime. That's
yeah.
for sure.
But I can't imagine, like, if, say, it hadn't imploded instantly, like, and they were just, like, sitting down there, unsure of what to do, like,
You
what
can't
kind,
fix that.
what kind of conversations do you think they're having? Like, what do you think they're thinking?
Probably like, you know, like the saying, like, my life flashed before my eyes. I'd imagine it'd be something like that. I'd be thinking of like, oh my gosh, there's so many other things that I could have done. Like, you know what I mean? I don't, honestly, I don't know. I've never been in that kind of situation, so I couldn't even tell you how I'd be feeling.
But the thing is, the CEO of that company, who claimed that this little submersible was so safe, was on there with the 4 other people. Can you imagine all the blame that was like being thrown at him and be like, you were the one that like took us down here?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
They'd probably be killing each other.
I'm sure. They would be so fucking pissed. I would be.
Yeah. And like, you're already like, if you're losing oxygen, you start getting delirious anyway and hallucinating.
And it's like freezing down there.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot. Yeah.
And the worst thing is, could you imagine like if for whatever reason it came back to the surface, but no one was there to save them? So like they're seeing,
they can see the air.
that there's air outside. I'd be so pissed.
I'd be like trying to break it.
What are you gonna break it with? You couldn't bring anything with you.
My head. But like, how can you be like looking at this thing and be like, that's a great idea. I'm gonna get in that for, what is it, 8 hours? Was the trip was supposed
to be an 8-hour expedition.
Yeah, I want to sit in this metal tube at the bottom of the ocean for 8 hours where I can't even see anything.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
No, thank you. Oh, another fear of mine would be needles, but that runs
That is
deep.
really ironic.
I know, but I know, because like now I love sticking people, but like when the needles turn directly towards me, instant change in my body. You know what I mean? Because like, so when I was born, I was allergic to 47 things.
What the hell?
One of which was corn, which also includes corn syrup, which is in everything. And that was just one of the things I was allergic to, you know? So I had to have allergy shots like 3 times a week or something like that as a child.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
About you.
Well, I grew out of it, luckily.
Yeah.
You know, so, but it's just like, but now I guess because I had to get them so much as a kid, like my brain is just like, I don't.
Childhood trauma.
No, it's just like, I guess it just terrifies me now. Like logically, I understand that I shouldn't be afraid of them because it's not like it hurts. The pain isn't what scares me. You know what I mean?
So what is it?
Something inserted into my body that's not natural.
Okay, we've talked about that before.
Yeah. You know, like, so I had an IUD a couple of years ago, and even the thought of having an IUD inside of me is terrifying because it's like, it's not normal. It's not supposed to be there. It was inserted by someone else.
Yeah.
And like, same thing with like shots. You're inserting medicine into me. Like, how do I know what you're putting inside of me?
Pills. That's still medicine. It's going inside of you.
I don't know.
It's the needle.
It's
the needle.
That's why it's called an irrational fear.
Yeah.
Are you not scared of being poked?
I know that it's not fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say.
Not that you enjoy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of needles.
No, it was so bad at one point that like heavy sweating, like blood pressure shoots up. You know what I mean? Like very
Yeah.
like losing the color out of my face.
Like a very systemic response.
Oh, very much so. Like, yeah, I had no control over it whatsoever. It's gotten a lot better because, I mean, now I'm around needles all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get paid to stick people
So do I.
all day. So do you.
But, like, it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. But it's still there.
Do you think that, like, eventually, like, over time, that fear is just going to continuously get lesser and lesser?
I think so. Because I definitely, like, I still don't like getting, like, my blood drawn and stuff like that. But I don't have that systemic response as much as I used to. Now I'm just kind of like, maybe if I don't think about it and don't look at it, it's not really happening.
Do you look at it or do you look away?
Oh, I can't look at it.
Really? I have to know that it's coming. I don't want the shock of something poking me. Like, me seeing it happen makes me feel better because I'm like, okay, here it comes. Like,
I'm one of those people that's like, talk to me, have a conversation with me, and do not tell me when you stick me.
Really? Yeah. Some of the patients that I see are just like, we're just having conversation. I'm like, do I tell them or do I just keep talking? Like, just do it. And then they just like keep talking. And then I'm like, okay, well, now I'm just standing here with a needle waiting for you to shut up. And luckily, most of them are very nice, but
most.
Sometimes I get punched. Sometimes I get kicked. It's fun. It's a good time.
It's fine.
That's a story for another time.
Do you have any kind of like irrational fears like that doesn't really make sense to be afraid of?
I think this makes sense for a lot of people. It's just bugs, spiders, roaches, like anything that has more than 4 legs is just not.
Let me tell you guys, she came over to my house yesterday while I was at work to let Kilo out. And I have a Ring camera. One of the videos, I guess she ran into a spider web.
I didn't run into it. I saw it before I ran into it.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's very funny to watch. Maybe I'll put it on the TikTok one day. But I mean, the biggest bug for me, I guess, would be cockroaches because they're so unpredictable and they don't die.
Yeah.
Other bugs I can kind of handle. Unless they disappear, then I freak out a little.
You know, Nick always says, oh, like, this spider's a good guy. Like, he helps with pest control or whatever. I'm like,
he is
logically, I understand how that all works, but I don't like the idea. And Nick's not the kind of person who, like, kills bugs. He's definitely, like, a catch and release kind of guy.
No. No.
So he'll, like, get, like, a cup or something and, like, cover it, slide something under it, and then release it. I'm like, absolutely not. If I lose sight of this thing,
we're leaving.
I'm not sleeping.
I make Simon get it. Simon's the best bug
hunter. Do you
hunter.
think Daisy is going to do anything about it?
Just let me know and I'll let you borrow Simon.
My cat cried because she couldn't catch a fly.
It was sad.
Like, she tried to catch it and she missed, and then she was like,
oh no, Daisy.
And I haven't seen her come across a bug
since.
I think she was really embarrassed.
I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, you know, being a cat and not being able to catch a fly. Like,
we gave her a pass though because she's an old lady.
She's cute. Yeah. I'll let her have it.
But yeah, anything creepy crawlies, it's a hard pass for me.
I think another one of mine would be storms, but there's also a story for this one, which I don't know if I've told you this or not.
I don't think so. Let's hear it.
So we actually had a wolf hybrid growing up when I was growing up, and
how big was he?
He was very large. Yeah,
like
way
Kilo?
bigger than Kilo.
Okay,
no, he was a wolf. So he was
well,
I know. Kilo's abnormally large, but no. And he was outside, you know, for whatever reason. And I guess my parents didn't know that the storm was coming. And he was chained to a tree, and the tree got struck by lightning. And so the lightning went all the way through the tree, through the chain, and hit the dog and killed him.
God.
Yeah. Now, I didn't actually see it because, I mean, I was a kid at the time, so I don't, like, physically remember seeing it or anything like that. But ever since then, it's like, I don't want to get struck by lightning. Like, I know that it's a very small chance of you actually getting struck, but you can get struck.
Yeah.
Like, it can happen. That's why I don't carry umbrellas. I'd rather get wet.
My theory is that I'm just too short to be struck.
He's a dog, though. He was shorter than you.
But the tree wasn't.
Yeah, what if you're touching the tree?
Why don't you think I just go around touching trees?
I don't know what you do in your spare time.
Yes, you do.
Okay, don't yell at me. No, it used to be so bad that I would like hide under a table.
Oh no.
It was bad. But like it's gotten a little better, and let me tell you how it got better. Whenever I joined the Navy, there was a storm coming through. I was like in A school at this time. There was a storm that came through and I was terrified. They made me go outside.
So just like consistent exposure therapy?
Yes. Pretty much. I'm surprised they didn't traumatize me more.
Yeah, because I feel like that could go one of two ways.
Exactly. No, I mean, and that's kind of how I'm getting over the needle exposure too, or the fear too, is like exposure.
I'm not going to be exposed to spiders.
You don't want to be on like Fear Factor?
Hell no.
Me and Ben watch Fear Factor sometimes.
Yeah, I used to love watching Fear Factor back in the day.
I can watch it until they're eating the bugs. Then like it just makes me want to.
I have the creepy crawlies now. Oh.
Yeah, they do some. They do some crazy stuff on that show, or did, I guess.
Yeah. And like honestly, like I know that a bug is way smaller than me. But like I have this irrational thought, like I'm like, what if it jumps at me?
I think like the unpredictability is what's so terrifying.
What if it starts flying? Or like what if I miss?
Oh my gosh. Or mice even. I
haven't had mice. A mouse?
Well, Simon caught a mouse one time and let go of it.
I know.
He let go of it. Luckily, I got a Tupperware bowl over top of it, but it was still alive. So me and Ben didn't know what to do.
So what'd y'all do with it?
I think we like ended up. I think we got tongs. Was it dead? I think it was dead actually. But
how long was it under the bowl?
I think Simon. I think Simon killed it.
Okay.
And like he like dropped it and we put a bowl over top of it and we could see in the bowl. Okay, it was like a Tupperware bowl.
Yeah.
And like Ben had like the tongs and he was like going to go grab it and he was freaking out and I was freaking out. We were yelling at each other and I was like, just grab that damn mouse.
It is so crazy how these little tiny creatures just tear us apart as couples.
Like this 225-pound man is terrified of this little 1 ounce mouse.
Yeah.
Know? But like, I mean, I get it. We threw away the bowl and the tongs, by the way. We didn't keep those, so don't come at me. But yeah, it's just like, it's crazy to think that we're at the top of the food chain, but we're still terrified of things.
Oh, also, top of the food chain, by the way, like ocean creatures, like killer whales, they're apex predators. I know they're not really going to hunt humans, but they're scary.
I mean, they're hunting the rich right now.
Literally eat the rich, right? Did you see that? Did you watch Mythbusters?
Kind of.
Did you see that one episode where they did like the pressure, like what would happen to a human if they went like so far?
No.
And the human just like, I think they used like a pig carcass in like a suit and they like dropped it all the way down to the bottom of the ocean and it just like liquefied.
That is just
because of all the pressure
to me. Like how that works. Science is weird.
The world is weird.
That's fair. Do you ever just like sit here and be like, what am I?
Yeah, like what is a person?
How am I thinking? How am I talking? How am I moving?
Why does this none of it make sense?
I just like what is wood? What is phone? What is?
What is? What is?
I mean, it makes me feel funny when I think that way.
Yeah.
And especially if I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I literally look at myself and I'm just like, what are you?
We're just like a fleshy bag of skin.
Things.
And just, yeah.
I think we're like a subconscious just trapped in a body.
What do you mean?
Like us,
Mhm.
like we are a subconscious, right? And we're like driving this thing that moves for us and talks for us.
We're getting into conspiracy theories here.
I love going deep into conspiracy theories.
Me too.
Though.
And then like I start second guessing myself. I'm like, oh my God, like
Is the world round?
is it flat?
They do have some good points though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait, like I know this is
insane
and goes against everything science, but like he has a point.
I mean, science is kind of man-made though, right?
Yeah. Also, what is space?
I don't know. Eternity blows my mind. Time?
What is time?
Okay, 2023. Okay, what happened to the other millions of years? The BC or whatever? Who was just like, you know what? We're gonna start over. But the BC is counting down, right?
I honestly don't know.
I'm pretty sure BC counts down to 0, and then at 0 we start back up, and now we're at 2023, and it's like, who was just like, you know what? We're gonna start the timeline at 5 million and count down to 0, and hope
Like,
the
who
Earth
decided
doesn't
that?
die.
Right?
Christ, I guess. No, I don't know. It's just a weird concept, and to think we're like this big
I know.
in like,
We're so insignificant, like on the greater scale.
and we're stressed out about work.
Right?
Time is irrelevant. It's man-made. Like, oh, what is it? The time change. Who decided that?
Is that like for real, like done? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I feel like next one's gonna come around and we're gonna be like, oh yeah, we're doing it again.
Hey, by the way, we're still doing that thing.
So
That's
I don't know.
Stupid.
I just rely on my phone to do it for me.
Oh yeah. If I didn't have my phone, I'd be screwed. I get in my car though when I like go to the work the next day, and like the time is different,
And
and
you're
like,
what time is it? Well, I connect my phone for CarPlay, so it automatically changes it for
yeah,
you.
I don't have that feature.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my car's like a 2015, 16.
Mine's
I don't know.
17.
Okay, mine's a Jeep. Okay.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
The car people do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think as I've gotten older though, my fears have changed significantly.
I agree.
I have more.
Yeah, I feel like when we were younger, like it is true that like as teenagers and like young adults, like we just think we're invincible and like nothing can come out and get us. But now, you know, as we're working like real full-time jobs, especially like you and me in healthcare, like we see the reality of getting old and getting sick and just
injuries
like the injuries and just the unexpected and these uncertainties of just life. Like you have no idea what's coming.
Like today, or I think it was yesterday, on the HRBT tunnel bridge, there was a car that wrecked, went off the bridge, and then a Good Samaritan jumped in after them to go save him. They can't find either of those people.
Like, what the heck? Like, what is happening?
Like, can you imagine just waking up today and be like, I'm going to jump off of a bridge to save somebody, and then I'm going to die? Like,
I'm sure that wasn't part of his morning routine.
I hope not. Otherwise, there's bigger questions.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, just I definitely think like the more you know, the more fears you have.
Yeah.
That's why like when they ask you like, you know, the question like, would you want to know how you died? Absolutely not. I don't want to know.
I don't know. Like, I feel like...
Okay, what if they tell you...
Okay, I guess it doesn't change anything. Like, you're still going to die, right?
I mean, yeah. But also, if they tell you you're going to die from a car, are you ever going to get in a car again? But they don't tell you when.
Oh, if they don't tell me when, then like, why tell me?
But that's the question. Do you want to
Yeah.
know how you die? You die in a car. You ever get in a car
But
again?
yeah, I mean, like, if you tell me, hey, like, you're gonna die in a car accident on this day this year,
The day and the year, I guess I could deal with.
yeah,
But how? Just how?
yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
Yeah, no, I would definitely be avoiding cars for the rest of my life.
Right?
Like, I'm not dying anytime soon.
Not today.
No, no, no.
Well, I think that wraps up today's episode on fears. I think we kind of went down a little bit of a
Tangent, rabbit
hole on conspiracy theories and
what we are and space and time and we weren't supposed to go that direction, but you know, that's the beauty of our podcast that I think that I really enjoy anyway.
It was that last brain cell really working hard.
It's fried right now.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Well, it has been a pleasure being your co-host for the last brain cell. If you would
like, comment, share, subscribe.
share the love.
Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please let us know on what your fears are. Because there are so many other ones that we did not talk about. You know, there's so many phobias out there that have like some strange names that we would love to learn about. We love learning about like new things like that. So let us in on your deepest, darkest fears. And thank you so much for listening. And we will see you next time on The Last Brain Cell.
Bye.
Oh, goodbye.